Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk a little bit about unintended consequences. Sometimes the biggest shifts and the biggest changes in our life come from things we just didn't plan or see coming. We usually think of those things in a negative way, the way the deal fell through, or a partnership fizzled, or a choice that rippled further than we thought. And yeah, sometimes the consequences are difficult and they stretch us in ways that we didn't ask for. But unintended consequences can also be surprisingly good. It could be the unexpected client referral or a person that we met by chance who ends up becoming a really good friend. Maybe it's a mistake that turned into an innovation. A good example of this, I think, is the remote work shift, right? A lot of companies, remote work was not new, but a lot of companies had to obviously go to remote work solutions during the pandemic. And an unintended consequence is that employees discovered, and their bosses too, that flexibility and work-life balance was a good thing. Work still got done, and employees were much more content. And the arrangements for many have become a top factor in retaining talented people. Now, some might say also that the unintended consequences of that flexibility is a lot of empty office space and less visibility with managers and coworkers. And those all can be true. When I first started my business, I was doing sales consulting, and that turned into helping people with their messaging and copywriting. And then a client said, "Hey, I want to start a podcast. Can you help me with that?" And we had just figured some of that kind of stuff out. So we said, "Sure, we'll do that for you." And another client asked after that. And then over time, now this is a key part of our business. It's what we do really well. And we've gotten a lot of clients and helped hundreds of people launch podcasts. So sometimes saying yes to new things is how we can stretch and grow. But there are times when we can say yes to things and they just don't turn out like we'd hoped. The truth is, we can't possibly see it all coming, but what we can do is choose how we respond when life surprises us. Staying hopeful means holding space for the possibility, even when setbacks show up. But there's always a silver lining or seeds of something better that can be part of that. Detours might take us on a path we would have never chosen, but ended up really enjoying. So hope doesn't mean pretending everything's good, everything's perfect in life, but it does mean we can trust that even when we can't control the outcome, we still get to write the next chapter.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.